I'm Anderson Cooper in Lviv in western Ukraine. The Kremlin increasingly frustrated by Ukrainian resistance, small acts of defiance like barricades and crude metal spikes aimed at stopping a larger foe. You also see large tires often on the side of the road at roadblocks. CNN's Phil Black reports on how Putin's war may not be going as he planned.
The smoking wreckage of Russian armoured vehicles on the outskirts of Kiev. While in the eastern city of Kharkiv, Russian forces are seen awkwardly retreating, with more of their hardware ultimately lost or abandoned to Ukraine's defenders. It's all evidence of an unexpected early twist in this vastly uneven war. Ukrainian forces are holding the line, with Russia failing to take any key cities so far. This Ukrainian military spokesman says the enemy is demoralized and has suffered heavy losses. Russia has acknowledged casualties without confirming numbers. From a distance, independent Western experts believe Ukraine's assessment is largely accurate.
The morale within the Russian forces will be incredibly low. And unless the Russians can get tempo into their operations, can get a victory, a very clear victory, I think morale will decrease on the Russian side.
You believe very firmly that the Ukrainian resistance is more spirited than they would have expected?
Absolutely, and at this point I think it's actually possibly the decisive factor.
Observers say a key Russian mistake was making false assumptions about the nature of the fight.
Ukraine would sort of lay down their arms, would surrender very quickly, that they would be able to decapitate the command and control of the Ukrainian forces extremely quickly in the initial period of war, these first few days of the campaign. This has not happened.
Smaller tactical errors have also been costly, like allowing Ukraine's drones to hunt freely.
Very surprising considering the Air Force hasn't neutralised the Ukrainian drone capability, and also that the troops on the ground seemed oblivious to the fact that they were being targeted.
Another theory, Russian forces may have been holding back, trying to take big cities with lighter forces, hoping to inflict minimum damage. But Ukraine's resistance could trigger a switch to what experts say is Russia's traditional military doctrine, overwhelming force. You're pointing to a scenario where there will be far greater bloodshed.
It's a calculation on their part about how brutal they're willing to go, because ultimately if you destroy Kiev, then they've lost the political ability to then install a government that is pro-Russian, able to govern the country.
Ukraine's only possible military strategy is somehow holding out, inflicting costs, limiting Russian wins. To the surprise and admiration of many, it's working so far. Phil Black, CNN, London.